Welcome to your daily dose of self-love. Please have ready your journal, some soothing or relaxing music, perhaps a candle, perhaps a warm blanket or a cup of tea, and whatever else makes you feel good and relaxed. And together we are letting go of the external world. For a few minutes, we'll be letting go of the material world and we will be tuning in to our inner world. And this is an act of self love when we turn inward. And when we follow this path of loving ourselves, we can realize our greatest, most fullest, divine human potential in this life. Thank you so much for being here together as we practice through contemplation, meditation, and relaxation. Let's begin. So, today, our practice of self love is focusing around acknowledgement, acknowledging, acknowledging ourselves, our emotions, our experiences, our feelings, our thoughts, acknowledging all of us. And as we turn into this new year, it's a great time to really acknowledge this past year and to look at what went well, what didn't go so well, what are we satisfied with, what are we not satisfied with. And so we have this opportunity right now at this new year to just acknowledge what is, to acknowledge what was, and to visualize and see and ask for maybe something a little different or something a little new. And acknowledgement, when I think about the opposite of acknowledgement, I think about how we dismiss. Often we can dismiss our feelings, we can dismiss our desires, we could ignore what we think, what we feel. For example, just one of many examples in my own life, choosing to go to college for engineering was an idea from the external world. It did not bubble up from within myself. It kind of was out, from the outside world. And I took that in and went with it because I didn't acknowledge myself in that moment. I dismissed what I really thought, what I really felt, because I believed and trusted others more than I trusted myself at that time in my life. Um, and I was pretty miserable, I'd say, for 4 years. I did graduate with a degree. I did great in my studies, but it wasn't my heart's calling, and I did not acknowledge that. And I had many, many unhappy, unhealthy moments during that time. So I'm sure as we reflect on this past year, we can all think of and just acknowledge what happened. We can think of those moments maybe um, when we did ignore or dismiss or choose not to see or feel, close things off, block things off. And this is kind of the opposite of what we're going for in our self-love practice. So we want to acknowledge that, yeah, we're human. And because we're human, we're going to be challenged in this way to really, despite our fears, despite our trepidation, to really acknowledge our feelings and emotions and share authentically. So there's so much here. There's so much to really dive deep into, and that's why we will meet every day or most days. Just because it's, for me, it's so fun to discuss these topics. I've been on my own healing journey, my own journey of self-love from, I want to say, about 2009 or so. So it's been quite a while, over a decade of time, and it's something that I just enjoy doing. And so we are in this together, starting our new year by acknowledging this past year. Also, part of being human is, I think, and believe that we're always looking for something more. It's almost like there's never quite this feeling of, I'm done, I'm whole, I'm complete, I'm fulfilled, 100%. There's always something in there, somewhere for us to, something for us to look at, something for us to change, something for us to want, something for us to desire. And that's just part of being human. Knowing where we've been, we can look forward to where we want to go. And so we will move into a few minutes of meditation. And since this is our first time together, I will tell you about our meditation. It will be a guided meditation. I do trust and believe that you will find your own way with this meditation, whether you hear me or don't hear me, whether you choose to sit or stand or move or shake things out, whether you choose to close your eyes or gaze upon a beautiful flower. You will find your way. There's really no right or wrong way in this meditation. And we can just allow it to unfold for our own highest good. And immediately following our meditation, we'll move into a reflection time where we will write. Writing is quite an important process of our ability to release, to acknowledge, to release, to move forward. And so we every day take a couple of minutes to record our thoughts. And when we move into this writing experience, and I'll tell you now, just so that you're prepared to move into it, there are a couple of different approaches you can take. You can choose to follow a prompt that I give you. You can allow stream of consciousness writing. So just writing without stopping for the allotted amount of time, which will be probably somewhere around 8 minutes, which goes by very quickly when you're in the flow. So it can be a letter to yourself. It can be a letter to somebody else. It could be a journal entry. It could be whatever you want it to be, as long as you are writing and feeling and expressing and moving, allowing yourself to move energy through the words that show up through you onto your paper. Let's begin our guided meditation. Go ahead and find your soft, quiet music or sit in the silence. Find what works well for you. Bring all of your awareness into your breath. Feel your cells expanding as you inhale. Notice how your belly expands as you inhale. Your muscles expand as you inhale. Your bones expand as you inhale. All of you expands as you inhale deeply. Feel yourself fully supported by the earth beneath you. And we are considering the word acknowledgement, acknowledging ourselves as an act of self-love. We begin by acknowledging our physical body here in space. Maybe you take your hands and feel your physical body. We acknowledge our breath, our life. Without our breath, we would not have this life. This life we get to heal, we get to grow, we get to learn, we get to live. And we are so thankful. We're thankful for not only ourselves, we're thankful for the people in our lives, our extended network of human family. We acknowledge this moment of transition into a new year. Here we are in the midst of something new, standing at this turning point, this crossroad. And in your mind's eye, maybe you can see yourself standing there, fully grounded, full of breath, full of awareness, planted and rooted exactly where you are. And in your mind's eye, you can see yourself looking back upon this year, 2023. Acknowledge this year. Notice what bubbles up as you think about the last 12 months, as you allow the last 12 months to bubble up in your awareness. What words or feelings or emotions or people or places bubble up for you? And you see your moments of satisfaction in this previous year. Perhaps the satisfaction is arriving here in this moment. Here we are. What are those moments of satisfaction? What were those moments of feeling so good? We can say thank you for all those moments, the ones we remember and the ones we don't. We can also visualize those moments where we were not satisfied, where we had struggle and tension, stress, overwhelm, out of alignment. We can see that those moments were there too. And for this, we can also say, thank you. I'm learning, I'm growing, especially in those moments. We can say thank you for all of the last 12 months. We can visualize blessings from our heart into the past. We can visualize this however it works for you. Maybe some little heart bubbles floating back. Maybe it's a stream of water. Maybe it's just an intention. Maybe there's a color. We can say thank you. Thank you for it all because it brought me right here where I'm stronger. And come back to this present moment. Visualize in your mind's eye this grounded, rooted moment of transition as we turn to look forward to our new year, our next 12 months, 2024. And we can think about and acknowledge what we truly desire, what we truly wish to feel and experience. As you think about how you wish to feel and what you wish to experience this upcoming year, notice what comes to mind. Notice what bubbles up for you. Maybe it's committing to nurturing a relationship with yourself. Maybe it's committing to authenticity, to self-love, to saying hard things, to speaking your truth, to unbounded, unlimited joy and bliss. And allow those words, those bubbles, that little droplet of water to flow into our year ahead. We can visualize this year ahead filled with so much goodness, so much growth, so much learning, so much movement and stillness. We choose to turn inward and strengthen our own inner light, growing stronger and brighter, making our world a beautiful place. And you can look off even further in your mind's eye, further down the road. You can see so many strong, bright lights glowing, 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 so bright. So many folks stepping onto this path of self-love with us, together, united as one beating heart, glowing, purposeful, and strong. Come back to the awareness and acknowledgement of your physical beingness. Acknowledge your spiritual beingness. Acknowledge your divine self. We are both spirit and matter. And we have moved so much today. So before we move on to journaling, let's just take a deep breath and a loud exhale out, a deep, loud sigh. Maybe a little wiggle. And from here, we're going to move into our reflection. So as I mentioned earlier, this can be a free write, stream of consciousness writing, just allowing words to flow on your paper. You can also choose to write to the prompt that I'm going to give you. And the prompt is, I release and acknowledge. I acknowledge and I release. And then you can write from there. And the second prompt is, I invite in. What do you invite in? So what do you acknowledge and release, and what do you invite in? And you can also free write or write yourself a letter. And I will call you back in about 8 minutes. Take a couple moments to complete your last thought and return back together. And we will end today with a letter. Dear one, you are not alone. We are holding your hand as you walk the daily path of self-love. Turning to your inner world is the gift you give yourself, as well as the gift you give to others. Each bright heart ignites another bright heart. We are walking each other home. Home is truth. Home is love. Home is ease and grace. We choose to sit with you in moments of quiet contemplation, meditation, and reflection. Much love, your divinity. Thank you all so much for being here today. Please leave a comment and let me know your words of wisdom. What came through for you? I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.